Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks, and welcome to my studio, the Stampin' Turtle. Anyways, we are starting today with some little minis. So I did a couple already, but I wanted to show you step by step how to do these. So let's just get started because I got a busy day today, y'all. I'm going to be teaching a class for the first time with at my friend's art barn. So I want to make sure I'm there early and do everything I should be doing. And I got my tea. Yummy, yummy. Got tea. And hopefully I will not stick my paintbrush in it because we don't want to paint our thing. And look at this cute little thing I made. It's just a little ceramic turtle. Very, very cute. Anyways, put these off to the side, and I wanted to show you guys step by step. So this little nest super easy, like beyond easy. And I don't know if we'll do a short video today too, but we'll see. Sorry, my voice is going on me. I got some dirty water here because you know me, I hardly ever clean my water. But I'm going to try and make it so I can show you guys exactly what I'm doing. Well, maybe. For now. It's so hard to get everything in the picture. I'll be honest. I'm just going to leave that like that. Put that there. Put that there. And I think that'll be good. And then I'll show you what I've been working on that's kind of a fun little thing I wanted to do to kind of give to some of my friends. We do like a little gift exchange around Halloween time, and I just really wanted to make something unique for them. And so, towards the end of this video, I will show you what I made, and it'll be really a cute idea for you guys if you want to start doing something like that. So, first step is to draw. If you don't know how to draw, I was thinking that maybe I'll start offering some drawing lessons. I don't know. But I think it's really easy to just kind of make a nest anyways. You just do a couple of circles. Nothing too fancy, right? Eggs are kind of oval shaped anyways, right? And I'm not drawing every detail. That's the thing about watercolor. You don't draw every detail. And so I'm going to focus on doing this one. I may do a couple for you because I have a bunch on my Pinterest board that I really love. And what you want to start with first is kind of a base coat. So you can see what I'm working on right here. Mixing. And you can do different colors. You can do some yellows in there, some oranges in there. You can mix it all together and make like this strange little brown. I never really clean my palette. It's always kind of dirty. I have some green in there. Because, if I'm going to use the same colors, might as well. Plus, I think it keeps my art recognizable because you can tell that the colors are kind of similar. Sorry, my voice is going on me because, well, of course it's always going on me, isn't it? But we had our trunk or treat at church, and I spent a lot of time talking because that's who I am. I talk. So right now we're just getting that base coat, and it's real light. And if you mess up, trust me, do not freak out. I'm going to get a paper towel so we can mess up this part. See how it's on the egg? I'm just going to erase that. And you can tell that I've lifted it. And now it's no longer on the egg. It's fine. Now, if you don't have one of these type of brushes, you need to go get one. This one was $3, so it's not expensive. And I got it from Hobby Lobby. I'm sure they have them at Michael's. And the problem I think we've been seeing is that a lot of times we don't know exactly what this number means. 3/0. I have no idea. So sometimes there's ones with just a 3. Don't get that. Or just a 1 or just a 0. I don't know. But as long as it's long and skinny. Let me get it wet so you can see. See how long and skinny that is? It's called a rigger or script liner. And you need one of these if you're going to be serious about painting. Sorry. Whew. I need to do something about that. Okay, so now I want to do a darker color. So I'm going to mix something a little darker. And I like my Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is super dark. But if you don't have Payne's Gray, just mix your ultramarine blue with your burnt sienna. And that should make a Payne's Gray that's similar to this. I'm mixing a little bit more brown in it just because I like that. A little bit of a red tinge in there. So now I got my script liner all nice and loaded with paint. And we're just going to go around and make some little twiggy things, right? Little twiggies. And see, you're going to get better at this as you do it. So sometimes, you know, I like doing a 3x3 like these little ones because they're definitely better for practicing on something. And I use an Arch paper because I learned that I like using a better quality paper rather than the cheaper paper. It's fine. The cheaper paper's fine. Like Canson XL, Strathmore. There's a bunch of different ones. The Hobby Lobby brand is really good. I like them all, really, to be honest. They're fine. But just the more I do this, the more I enjoy how the Arch paper works. Just seems a little bit nicer. And it holds water a lot more. And the thing is, you'll learn. You will definitely learn what you like. And sometimes it takes a while. Now right here I did a little bit of yellow to have a highlight. And now I'm back into the dark Payne's Gray. But you see it's still really wet. It's still really kind of bleeding. It's not in that point where it's dry enough to show all the different strokes that I'm making. So the more I do, the more you see it kind of bleeds in there. But I do like this bottom part being shadow, like that. And you'll see in this one, the shadow is kind of an ultramarine blue with probably a little bit of Payne's Gray. This brown is very much more brown than this is. So I may end up putting brown in here. So I can wiggle my little brush in there and just add straight brown or burnt sienna, burnt umber, whichever one these ones are. I can never remember which is which. But I think a lot of times artists are worried about getting the exact colors I have or the exact colors that, you know, someone's tutorial says to have. And I've been teaching classes now for probably 2 years. And the most important thing about creating the artwork is that you are learning how the paint reacts with water and the paper. So there's the 3 elements, the paint and the water and the paper. And learning the ratios for each, because I'll be honest, watching a tutorial, you're not going to always know exactly what their ratios are. You're just going to have to guess, and it's going to be hard sometimes to really get it exactly like them. Now I'm going to do something, I'm going to do a little bit of a different one, just maybe one in this corner. And do some eggs straight overhead. So that might go off the edge there. And this is just something that while I'm waiting for this to dry. So sometimes we got to start several different ones. You know what I'm saying? If you're impatient like me and you can't just sit and wait, I know I have a hard time sitting and waiting. And see, we're just getting a base layer in here. And I'm going to be a little more careful just to go around. I don't know who's calling me, but I'm doing my live right now. Someone is calling me, but I will call them back. Leave a message if it's you. So now I'm just going around these eggs, kind of a little more careful than I did those because I wasn't even ready to do the darks on that. I'm really not ready to do the darks on this, but it's okay. Sometimes you just let yourself do it. Just be one of those people that's like, you know what? Throw caution to the wind. I'm going to just do it. Just do it. All right. And that's how you really learn to watercolor is you just start doing it and see what happens. For me, it's like this was originally a $10 set of paints from Hobby Lobby. And as I've used them up, I've replaced them with professional grade that's in a tube. So like here's my Payne's Gray, which is almost empty, squirt out in there. And then so I'll get one for yellow ochre. And these ones I use up, these blues I use up, these greens I use up. So I'm not real sure. I think I've just refilled some of the red too, but whatever you find that you're using a lot of, whatever color, that's probably what you'll want to invest in these little single tubes, which are usually $10 unless they've gone up in price with inflation. And you know, that's a real thing. So let me see what happens if I add a little bit of this Payne's Gray in here. Look at that. Just kind of bleeds and makes kind of this really interesting thing there. And now if I wanted to, I can try seeing what's going to happen now over here. So you can see kind of both, right? You can see how it's turning out as I'm allowing it to dry. And this is real time, y'all. We're live. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you're liking this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like and a subscribe. You know, it might be nice. You can also leave a comment if I haven't answered any of your questions in this video. I read all my comments and reply to them. And so it's really about community here. I really enjoy getting to know y'all and learning new things from you and where you're from. So it's really kind of cool. All right, now because of my impatience, I'm just going to go for this turquoisey blue background and go around that. And I may mix my blues. That's what I like to do. I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's really 5 blues right here. I just like mixing them on the paper, mixing them everywhere. But see how I'm just kind of going to the edge there? I think that's really good. I could start doing that for this one. And just kind of go around. You know, it's like watercolor is one of those quick, easy mediums, I think. If you've never tried it before, you might have a little reservations on it because it will be one of those things that's, you know, brand new. Anything brand new is kind of scary, right? So let me just look at y'all for a second. And so anything you try for the first time is going to be scary. And for me, when I started watercolor, I was not sure what I was doing. So I went to YouTube and I Googled, you know, how to paint in watercolor. And what popped up was Paul Clark, which I totally recommend you go see his channel. and you go subscribe to him and watch everything he's posted, because you will learn like I learned, and it'll be good. But hopefully my voice will come for my class today, because it is going on me, isn't it? All right, let's see if this is drying good enough or not. Here's another cool thing. So this sky is right now, as we speak, still wet. And sometimes I like to take, this is I think an 8 or a 6. All the stuff is worn off, but that's okay. So an 8 or a 6. If I ever design brushes for y'all, I'm going to have it engraved, like etched, so it never comes off. Because like you're always holding your brush, and it like rubs off if it's just printed on there. I don't know, maybe that means this is counterfeit. I hope not, but I've liked them. I think when you buy stuff off Amazon, you might have that possibility of counterfeit. And see, I just like that. Look at that. Just a little bit of tap in. A little bit of tap in. It's kind of cool. So these are my quick and easy little, and look, you can just like erase those little droplets that went somewhere you don't want them. Just do a little quick touch of a wet brush. You need to work. Now, I don't know, are my little blue eggs, should we do these little blue eggs next? Let's do these really dark blue. Those will be more light blue. So let's see. Get a nice turquoisey. Turquoisey. And so painting nature, I think, is fun. Doing birds is good. Doing a bird nest, or I just recently did a turkey. And it was kind of more of a practice to see what it would do. And, like how it would turn out. And I think it turned out pretty good. If you guys want, I'll show it to you. So, look at that. And everything is an ugly stage in the beginning. Like, you cannot expect your painting to look like the finished product at the very beginning. Now, here's a cool little tip. If you want highlights on anything, just lift. Take a clean brush and lift. Follow the contour of your egg. See that? That looks perfect, doesn't it? Now it's already kind of starting to look real, even though it's not quite there. It's not quite there yet. What do we want to do next? Oh, I wanted to show you my turkey while we're waiting for some more stages of this to dry. So here's my turkey. Hopefully y'all can see it. I'm getting a red light on my live, which means we're not going live. It's always the enemy. Let me see if it's even moving on YouTube. I'll try it. I'm gonna just look and see what's happening on the channel. Y'all need to tell me too if it's going pretty good. I guess it is going, but it's just kind of stopping and starting. I bet the volume is fine. I don't know. Well, let me see if I can hear y'all. Oh yeah, I can hear me. Good. Anyways, so why is it always so hard? Why is it so hard? But I did like this one turkey. I took pictures off the internet, 2 different turkeys, and made one smaller. And then I found another reference photo for the trees, and I did that separate. And then that photo didn't have sky, but I wanted sky, so I put sky. As an artist, we can do whatever we want. We can make things, we can change them up, we can do whatever. Sorry, my voice. Ugh. Sometimes, and I'm drinking tea with honey, and you would think that would help. It's not. All right, so what I wanted to really show you too about the eggs, what's really great about doing this, I'm going to get a nice, um, real wet consistency here, like put some water in there. See how it's getting more and more creamy, or not creamy, more and more like a tea-like consistency. See? And now we're going to make speckles on there. And you're like, oh, it's all over the place. Remember, we can erase that. Just dab, rinse, dab, get rid of those. See? Perfect. Now we'll leave those little speckles to dry. Love watercolor, y'all. You can't really, I don't know. Maybe you can do that with acrylic. I've not really done that with acrylic before. So, let's see if this blue, what happens if we use that blue? And sometimes you can leave the white of the paper instead of painting it. But it's just so fun, y'all. So those are our little eggies in the nest, right? That's a lot of paint in there, but I'm going to lift, like I did before, lift, and lift. That'll look good. And right now that's too wet to do the speckles, okay? And these speckles are just kind of beating up and sitting there. And you can put whatever you want on here. You can dab out some, you can put some clean water and speckle the clean water on there, and look at how it makes it kind of bleed and not be so uniform. So you can do that with some clean water. We're going to have fun at the class today. We're going to be doing hydrangeas, and we're going to learn all kinds of techniques like this. I may end up just taking a little bit of that highlight right there. And so that looks good, I think. You can even add some of your blue speckles if you really want to. Get like a nice consistency of your blue. You can add a couple in there. Let's see what happens if I do that there. No, it's not ready. It just kind of disappears. And that's how you learn. You practice. Going back to my rigger, and I'm going to use this Payne's Gray and just kind of, we're building it up. See how we keep building? We're putting some underneath. Now I'm going to try this. Put that around the edges. Maybe a little yellow or green. I guess that turned green because I put it in with the Payne's Gray. And you could take these down and have them be a white frame around each one if you want, but I'm just going to keep mine like they are. I may get some of this. And a lot of times I use a spray bottle to get these nice and wet. Start getting them wet anyways. Or you can also just take your brush and get some water on there and just put it in there. Get everything nice and wet in there so it can start to hydrate. That's what I also love about watercolor, is that all this dries and then it doesn't make a mess anywhere. You can just do whatever, take it with you, and then if you're done painting for the day, just let it dry out. And now I'm using this one. You can see what I'm doing. Kind of working on both of these, huh? At the same time. I don't know what color is up here. I think I did raw umber up there because I didn't have a space for raw umber. So I just kind of did it on this, on the edge. And that kind of is cool too. And you see that color is kind of pretty. I like it. And again, we're just going around, and it's just kind of having fun, doing different things. I get this darker brown, just pure, and just put it in there. If you make it thicker than the other, it should stay put in place. But if it's not, look at how it just kind of it blends. I love that. Looks really cool. And so you're starting to see what's happening, right? You're seeing what's happening. But be careful not to touch your blue. It might go into that. Now I'm going to add maybe a little bit of this. It's a little red, but it's okay. You can play around and see if you like it. Because, birds use all kinds of twigs, don't they? They don't know. They don't base it on the color. They just kind of go for it. So that's kind of fun to put that in. It's already starting off really good. I'm liking how it's looking. And, I think these will turn out to be great little projects to sell at my next craft fair. Speaking of which, I'm going to be at the Honeybee Festival on November 2nd. That's this Saturday. So come out and join me at the Robertsdale, Alabama Honeybee Park. And there'll be 110 vendors there, y'all. And food trucks and fun for the kids. And you can bring your dogs. It'll be a blast. And last year it was so nice, the weather. 2 years ago we had a storm that blew in, and so we all packed up a half hour before it really hit hard, and that was kind of scary. And I ended up leaving my tent and tables and just got my artwork and put it in my car because it was blasting thunder and lightning and pouring down rain. So I was screaming. And my dear friend Brenda's like, "Do you need help?" And I'm like, "I think I'm good. My daughter came and helped me." So we'll see what happens this year. I haven't even looked at the weather, so hopefully it'll be nice. Um, and then I also am doing a little table set up at my church on Sunday. And that's for a women's conference, which if you're in the area, Daphne, Alabama, you can join Three Circle Church. Go to their website and you can join the festivities of women's conference and being in the Word and how to navigate life seasons and things like that, and being a mom. So it's kind of, or being a wife, being a woman. So if you want, join us at that, and that's the 3rd, November 3rd. So that's my next stuff that I'm going to be doing. Here's our little nest. They've been sitting. They've been trying to solidify and do their thing. I'm going to go in with some more Payne's Gray. And see that yellow that was in there just kind of disappeared because I ended up putting more Payne's Gray. Putting a little bit of this brown in with Payne's Gray. Look at that pretty color. So you can do a lot of cool things with it. And then kind of go around these eggs and make it a little darker. Like I said, you just kind of play around with it and you'll get it. You'll get the hang of it, y'all. I always tell my students, I'm like, you did not know how to write your name in kindergarten. And now you know how to write your name without even thinking. And this can be the same for any medium of art. You didn't know how to paint with watercolors. Once upon a time, I didn't know how. And now I am pretty proficient. I'm always learning, which I think I said in the last video about when to know how to do these little the salt granules. I can put some right there right now and see what happens. And I'm still learning when's the right time to put the salt down. Could put that on the little eggs too. That would probably be a really cool technique. Putting the salt on these little eggs and see how speckly they get. So see, I'm just adding the dark right now. We're just getting that dark base in there around the eggs. Seeing what it's doing. Just letting it kind of do its thing. Always about the layers. You need lots of layers when you're watercoloring. So get a little bit more Payne's gray in there. A little bit more of that brown. Darker brown. Mix it all together. And we may go around, let me see, I didn't really make that super dark around the eggs, did I? So we may do this a little different. And every time you paint, sometimes the same subject matter even, you paint it different. I've had commissions where I paint the same dog a couple times, and each time it just turns out a little different. Which is fine, because each painting is its own. And sometimes one day you're in a different state of mind than the other. And as an artist, that's what makes this art unique to me. So I'm painting this right now with whatever I'm going through today and enjoying painting it, right? Look at that. Those little eggies are starting to pop. They're popping. And what else do I want to try and do with this? Because it's still real wet in there. All real wet in there. There's a lot of things I can't really do right now. Let's see what I can do. Maybe put a little of this green that I had already on my palette. Put some right in there. That gets in the trees, in the bushes, somewhere, right? Put a little green on there. That might look pretty. Put a little of this, some more of this in the sky. I like that. That looks fine. Could add a little bit of this ultramarine blue in there. And what I can do is mix up some of this yellow. Yellow repels a lot of things, which I think is kind of cool. A lot of the colors start to repel. With that yellow, it's pushes the other colors. See what happens if I put it over here. And put it in there. Just kind of cool. And you just play a little bit with it. Right? And so now I'm going to add some of this real dark brown and see what happens. It's still really wet, which makes it kind of harder to mess around with, right? But it's kind of fun. I like using this thing. Just kind of play. Just play around with it. See what happens, right? And I get in the zone a lot of times doing this. And just let it have it a mind of its own, which is kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like how that's looking, but I'm gonna heat tool it because y'all, it's been a while, so I need to get these dry. I need them dry. Let's see if that works. And I'll just try this and see. No, it's still really wet. That one's a little bit more dry than the one on the bottom. So dry it a little more. I do want to show you something up close. So look at that in this area. That was that yellow I put in, and it pushed out. I don't know if you can really tell, but I like how that looks. And that's real hard to achieve in another medium. And this one was still really wet down here, so I had to do something to dry it. Let's try this. This is my little test. See if it's... There we go. Getting some nice little twiggy looking things. And see, I'm just letting it do its thing. Just do its thing, right? And you can switch back to this color. And then back into a yellow with some of this kind of orange. Might be kind of fun to use. Mix it with that because it's just kind of cool. And just let it do its thing. Wiggle, wiggle it all over. And I don't know, sometimes our compositions, we're not really sure what we want to do. But the reason I say get these cheap things and cheap paint and cheap brushes, just because if you're using paper that's super expensive, you're not going to want to do the experiments. You're going to be focused on the price of those items, and you're not going to be able to enjoy the process of creating, right? And so I really am a firm believer that you should just start off with whatever you can afford and what you will use. Because if you're not going to use it because it's so expensive, I would say don't buy it if you're not gonna use it. So see, I'm just adding a little dimension to those eggies. Might do that on these ones. They need a little darker on the bottoms to make them stand out. So that's making them look good. I feel like, I don't know, should I get a little bit of this Payne's Gray? Look at how much I have to use. If I was worried about cost of my Payne's Gray, I wouldn't paint at all. Because that's like the color I use all the time. And like I said, this little tube is $10. So it's fine. You gotta use it, y'all. Gotta use it. So now I'm just adding these little darker areas just to get that look of those eggs sitting down in the nest. And you got like some darker areas that you want to come out as you're coming out. I think that looks good. Now I'll go back in this one and just kind of add. We just want to keep adding, right? And look at that. Now I'm going to do that shadow I told you all about. And just kind of add that shadow under the nest. Right? And this one, I don't know if it even has a shadow, to be honest. I just spread that out a little bit. But I might mix a little of this Payne's Gray and do my specklies on those eggs. Get rid of that. Little speckles there. And if you really want some nice little whites coming up in there, you can use a gel pen. So this is also a trick I use. You can buy a 3-pack of these, like with 5 different sizes for like $4 at your local Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And look at how it looks when you do that. And see, I'm just adding these little squigglies. And I also use this to do whiskers on a cat, or what else? The glints in an eye. You can actually make it a little bit of a highlight there. So don't ever think that you can't bring your whites back. You can use pastels. So look at that. That's really good. I like it anyways. What do you guys think? Clean that off. Put that back in my little jar. That's right there. And I think those are pretty much done. I mean, look at how cute and quick that was. Super easy. And I love it. That's what's so cool. But let me show you guys. Hold on. So I have these things, and they're called, what are they called? Something fodder. Not scrapbook fodder. Something. I can't remember what they're called. Or you could call them ephemera. So let me show you on the table so you can see what I'm doing. So we don't need that. And I don't want these to get messed up. So let me move this stuff. Move it. It's still really wet. Put that right there. And just dry all of this. Clean it up. And watercolor too was super easy to clean because it's water-based. And if you get it on your clothes, you can wash them. Where if you get oil paint on your clothes, you cannot wash them, which is really sad to ruin some clothes. You might just wear an apron. So let's see these things. So I painted all of these by hand and then cut them out. And I think a friend of mine, Marianne Harris, she did these. It was making hers really pretty. And I got inspired also from watching some other ladies on YouTube who do whatever this is called, something fodder. Can't remember right now for some reason. But look at how cute these little guys are. And look at these leaves. Those leaves, pumpkins. So much fun. And what I can do for my craft show that's coming up is package some of these or just leave them loose. And people can pick whatever they want. And so like if you came to my show, you could just come and be like, oh, I want this. I want this. I want this. And maybe one of those. Maybe one of those. And you just can pick and choose what you want. You know, oh, I want this instead. What do you think? And then you could put these on your greeting cards. You can use them however you want to use them. They're just kind of cool. Cool looking. And cute. And everybody likes cute stuff. Really, really cute. So anyways, I think that's pretty much it that we're going to be talking about anyways. I mean, you can look at my stuff again. This one I think is my favorite out of the two I did today. What do you think? Which one's your favorite? Do you like the one on the on the left or on the right? You can type in left or right on there and I will see which one y'all have picked to be your favorite. And what else should I do today? Anything? Oh, scripture. We always end with some scripture. And the thing about today's scripture I thought was um, very relevant to painting nature, painting bird nests, is that Matthew 6:26, and it says, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they?" Why is my voice going? I guess it's just the enemy wants me to stop talking, but I will never stop talking because I love the Lord and He is coming back soon. But don't worry, y'all. If you're financially strapped right now, which, the price of everything has gone up, rent's gone up, and your salary certainly hasn't gone up. So it's like you're spending a lot more money and you're not getting in as much. So that's the kind of situation that can really make you worry. And I'm going to say, God loves you. He takes care of the birds, and He's going to take care of you because you're much more valuable than birds. And for me as an artist, this is not my sole income. I have rental properties that I get income from. But when they're empty, and I don't get income. That's kind of my case right now, is that I'm trying to re-rent one. So, but I know God's going to supply everything I need. And I have a really good husband who tells me to remember that and to focus on Jesus and not focus on the problems. I also have a really good church that does sermons all about that. And if you're fighting a battle, you should go back and look at our sermon series from Three Circle Church. They got a whole series about fighting battles, spiritual battles, physical battles, medical battles, everything. So great sermon series if you go back and look at it. But I hope you guys have a blessed day. And I was looking at the time and seeing what time it is. And so we'll just cut it short today because I got lots to do to prepare for my class today. And I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial on painting bird's nests. And I hope you give it a try. I hope you practice. Just get some of your paper out and your paint and your brushes and some water and just go for it. And if you want to share with me, you can go to my website, which is stampinturtles.com, and contact me, and you can send me images that way. And oh, hey, Megan. I love you too, girl. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you so much. I'm just now saying goodbye, but you can go back to the beginning and see the whole thing. And it's pretty quick, pretty easy. I may even fiddle with my eggs a little bit more after I get off of the live, because of course you gotta fiddle, right? And but I hope you all have a blessed day, and we will see you next week. Mwah.